The devastating fires in Los Angeles are completely changing our entire city and the real estate market forever. According to ABC7 Los Angeles, over 12,000 structures have been destroyed. And according to AccuWeather, the damage could total up to $150 billion. But beyond these numbers, these fires are fundamentally changing our community and the real estate landscape forever. So as I'm filming this, the fires are still burning. So if you have been affected by the fires, I'm going to put a list of links down below where you can get resources to help you. And if you've not been devastated by these fires, I would highly recommend and encourage you to make a physical and financial donation to any of the nonprofits that are helping first responders and victims of the fire. So to help us figure out what is going to happen moving forward, I'd like to look back at other previous disasters to kind of figure out if there's a pattern that we're going to see here. And there is. If you look at the 2018 Paradise Fire here in California, property sales plummeted 40 to 50%. However, surrounding areas like Butte and Sonoma County saw increase of 3 to 6% in values because those people were displaced and relocated to those communities. For another example, if you look during Hurricane Harvey in 2017, the Houston real estate market did something really interesting. Despite massive floodings, by August 2018, home sales were up 40% and home values were up 2.1%. So if you're in a highly desirable area, things can bounce back. It just depends on the area and the location. Now, the insurance crisis is already affecting home values here in California. Reuters reports that 7 of the top 12 companies that are underwriting insurance have paused or restricted new policies since 2022. And State Farm canceled most policies in the Pacific Palisades, leading to a 16% drop in median price. The state-backed insurer of Last Resort saw a 61% increase in exposure. Based off some of those past patterns, we can get an idea of what future market implications are going to look like. For example, the first one is going to be shifting property values. Anytime after a natural disaster, the area affected has a really downward pressure on pricing. And then the low risk areas like urban cores are going to have a much higher demand. It makes sense. If you're a buyer, you're going to be so conscious of fire and safety issues right now and moving forward. This is devastating our entire city, and anyone looking to relocate here is going to think twice about purchasing a home in a location with a high fire risk zone or an earthquake fault or a landslide. We're in Los Angeles. We have a lot of natural disasters that can happen anytime. So it's really going to be important for a buyer moving forward to make sure that their home is going to be safe and free from any natural disasters that could potentially happen. Number 2 is community changes. This one makes me really, really sad because if you look at the Eaton fire, Altadena was historically Black neighborhood and a lot of people had built generational wealth there. They've gotten completely wiped out. So when insurance premiums don't cover the full costs of rebuilding, the character and the charm and the historic nature of those properties go out the window. And so it will completely change the face of that community and the feel of the area. And that makes me really sad. Anytime you lose something historic, it's a piece of our history that is no longer going to be there. You are definitely going to see a lot of gentrification in these areas, and a lot of these people could be displaced. Number 3 is building requirements. You are definitely going to see stricter building codes for fire resistance. And because you're adding all these new fire resistant features, that means the cost of new construction is going to be more expensive, but that means you're also going to see a premium for properties that already have fire protection included. And number 4, you're going to see some long-term market shifts. According to the Wall Street Journal, areas with high insurance costs have seen property values decline up to 11% in cities like Jacksonville and Houston. Now, I don't think that Los Angeles is anything like those other cities. We are a pretty robust city, and I think that we will be able to build back. However, I think you're going to see some migration towards urban core areas that are a little bit more low risk. And I think there's going to be an increased demand for modern safety features that are not included in a lot of these older homes. Now, if you're a buyer relocating to Los Angeles, I bet you're going to do a lot more research about fire safety and other natural disasters. You will get what's called a natural hazard disclosure on every transaction here in the Los Angeles area. So make sure you read it. It goes over every possible scenario, including floods, fire, and potential industrial waste. Everything is covered in that disclosure. make sure you read it. You also want to factor in long-term insurance costs. With the amount of insurers that are leaving the state, it's inevitable that insurance costs are just going to go up and up and up. And you want to make sure that you are factoring that in for long-term insurance premium growth. And this goes without saying, consider investing in fire-resistant features in homes. This is going to make the difference between being in a high-risk fire zone and keeping your house or having it burned down to the ground. Now, I still believe that Los Angeles is a city of hope and dreams, and I know that we will get back to that place. Thank you to all the first responders that are doing their work so tirelessly. And again, if you want to make a financial contribution or donation, there's a list of links in the description down below. Please donate what you can.